Ladies and gentlemen, electric first half and an absolute total polar opposite in the second half, where it was incredibly flat. The scoreline of 1-1, probably the right one. So many things to talk about. Let's go.
All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. Chelsea won, Newcastle won. Look, I know it's pre-season and, the results don't really matter. It's more the performance. And I guess it feels a bit strange because everyone that was part of the watch-along, shout out to you, big up to each and every one of you guys. Even if you weren't part of the watch-along and you were watching it, you would have felt that the first half, there was such a buzz, there was such a energy, such intensity, such great vibe about that first half. The way we moved the ball, the way how quick we were with our passing, our decision making, and then second half it was all flat. And to finish the game off in that manner, and then to talk about the game, it is difficult to be upbeat. But we're going to try our level best because at the end of the day, perspectives need to be in check. That this is preseason, but at the same time, don't want to take this too lightly. I think the upcoming two games, we need to start being serious properly because come that game against Liverpool, the first game in the Premier League new season, we better be ready. Let's talk about some positives, ladies and gentlemen, in this particular match. Let's start things off with this man on the picture. Nicolas Jackson scores another goal. And for me, we've been saying it, he's the real deal. And the reason we've been saying it is because when he's taken off from that side, from that front line, it looks totally different. Chelsea don't seem to be operating in that same manner. Every time he plays, every time he starts or he comes off the bench, we just seem to operate a lot better with him. This guy is an absolute team player. The way he holds up the ball, the way he links up with others, the way he presses from the front, which then leads everyone else to press as well. Scores a fine goal again. Fantastic finish, but it's the build-up. It's the way we led to that particular goal, the way we build up from the back from Enzo Fernandez who then I think laid it off to Cesare Casadei, who drifted in and out in midfield and then found that pass to Ian Maatsen, who then put in a lovely through ball for Nicolas Jackson to run onto. And this guy is going to score a lot of goals in the Premier League. He definitely will be scoring quite a lot of goals. And I'm excited, man. But at the same time, I'm worried to the sense that he did get pushed around a lot. He did get heavily tackled. This is what's going to happen once you become the main guy, the main target man for Chelsea. You will be targeted by the opposition teams. And this is why I was a bit okay when he did come off in the second half straight away. After the first half, he came off. And I said that, look, a couple of knocks he took, I'm getting a bit worried because he was sort of lying down on the ground for a little bit longer. I didn't want him to get injured in the preseason, but this is going to happen. Once the Premier League starts, there'll be defenders that will be trying to get in on the act sharp on Nicolas Jackson. And we need something because without him, look, as good as Nkunku can be up front, that's not where he belongs. Nkunku in this particular game hasn't been that great, and we'll talk about that. Without Nicolas Jackson, and this is what I've been saying recently, there is room for one more attacking player, and that is none other than Mohamed Kudus. Because Mohamed Kudus can potentially play up front as a striker, can be a central attacking midfielder, can play out wide on the left side. Without Jackson, there is no other options besides Nkunku, and Nkunku should not be tried out in that position for a long period of time because that will disadvantage his game. He likes to play just behind. Today, there were moments where Nkunku looked really good, just playing behind Nicolas Jackson. I thought I'm going to get a lot more electric vibe from Nkunku and Jackson, but it is the first game. This is the first time they're linking up together, so it's going to take a bit of time. But over the course of the Premier League season, I think that combination between Nkunku and Jackson will get better and better. So look, for me, Nkunku, 50-50 game. There were things where he did well, and then obviously second half he played as a striker. When you play Nkunku as a striker, you do need to have technical players in and around him. Having Gallagher as a number 10 to Nkunku, I don't think it's wise, and that's what happened in the second half. And to be honest, Gallagher probably had a better game than anyone else in the second half. And that's not really saying much because even Gallagher had some issues as well. So first positive is Nicolas Jackson. Second positive, I have to say, Cesare Casadei. Cesare Casadei, another blinder of a match. I don't think he's done too many things wrong in this preseason. And if he has done some things wrong, he's young. He's bound to make some sort of errors. For me, ladies and gentlemen, Cesare Casadei has to stay at Chelsea Football Club. I know there's rumors about him potentially going out on a loan. I would disregard those talks and I would keep him along with Andre Santos, who came on in the second half, looked once again very sharp. Obviously didn't play enough minutes in this particular game. But Cesare Casadei, he looked once again against a quality Newcastle team. Sandro Tonali on the other side. Cesare Casadei held his own. The way he dribbles, the way he passes, quick, thinking with his passes, one-touch passing. Some of his passing, long-range passing has been fantastic as well. The way he drives from midfield and links up with the attack, it was excellent to see. And I think we are already thin in midfield. There's no need to send out a quality young player out on a loan. Keep him with Chelsea. I think he'll get minutes in midfield. And we need this level of players. We've only got Enzo Fernandez, Cesare Casadei, and Andre Santos. Yes, Gallagher is there. There's rumors about him leaving, but there's also rumors about him wanting to stay and fight for the club. I think the bottom line with Gallagher is he probably does need to go. And we'll talk about Gallagher down the track. We need Caicedo in. Once you get Caicedo in, Enzo Fernandez, Cesare Casadei, Andre Santos, I think that is probably good quartet. And Pochettino has mentioned this post-match as well, that there are certain areas like left back, you've got 4 left backs, and then there are certain areas like in midfield, there's not much cover. So we need that cover. And you know what? Maybe we submit. Maybe we submit to Brighton's demands now and get Caicedo for 100 million. If that is what's going to make a huge difference to us, and it will make a huge difference, maybe it's worthwhile just spending that money. And potentially you can offset some of that money with Gallagher going and leaving Chelsea Football Club. So number 1 positive, Nicolas Jackson. Number 2 positive, Cesare Casadei. Number 3 positive is once again Ian Maatsen. Ladies and gentlemen, this time he played on the right side, not on the left side. He played on the right side, more tucked inside as a midfielder, and he found that lovely assist. He had another goal contribution from Ian Maatsen, has been scoring goals. Now he's produced an assist. Pochettino post-match has said, at this moment, it looks like Ian Maatsen's going to stay. And Ian Maatsen staying, look, this particular player, where can't you play him? You can play him anywhere on that left side, and now it seems like he can play on the right side as well. So worthwhile keeping him in. Once again, he's got so much to develop under Pochettino. I think Pochettino would relish having a player like Ian Maatsen. And I have to admit, I'm not totally convinced with our left backs with Cucurella and Chilwell. Both have some issues. And I know both are not at their peak level as yet. It's pre-season. I understand that. But having someone like Maatsen, you'll potentially use him as a left back. Now, where does that leave Lewis Hall? Lewis Hall, who didn't even feature in this particular match, I think it makes sense that he's probably going to go out on a loan. So that's my 3rd positive, Ian Maatsen. 4th positive, Mykhailo Mudryk didn't have the greatest first 15 to 20 minutes, but he slowly came into it, started to look a lot more hungrier, started to take on people, started to utilize his pace properly, cut in from that left side, try to find some crosses as well. Was unlucky. Then he unleashed a shot from hell, man. Short back lift and boom, rocket shot. But he needs to start good. There's no point in having first 15 to 20 minutes where you're a bit lethargic and not knowing what day of the week it is. You've got to start well, and I need to see Mudryk off the ball work a lot harder, because there was a lot of time Newcastle, they were piling on the numbers on Cucurella's side. Mykhailo Mudryk has to help out in those instances. The other positive that I want to say is Bashir Humphreys. I don't think he's put a foot wrong in this entire preseason. Once again, a solid performance in defense. Chalobah got better, looked sloppy in the beginning, but got better. And I can understand. This is why a lot of people don't like Chalobah, because he's got that sloppy nature in him. But he rectifies himself quickly enough. Those are probably my positives. Enzo Fernandez was, there were parts of his game that was fantastic. There were parts where not that great. So overall, these were my main positives. If I think of any other ones, I'll come back to it. Let's talk about some negatives. And there's a few negatives to talk about. Firstly, I need to clear my voice for this, because This is going to start making me irate now. Raheem Sterling, ladies and gentlemen. Yet another stink bomb. Absolute stink bomb. It stinks so much. Like, it's bad. He's not doing enough in this preseason. Last game, he was a standout stinker. This game as well, another standout stinker. Diego Moreira came on in the second half on that right side, and he looked a lot more electric. You got to be able to do something. If you're not good with your dribbling, then you got to be good like, and I'm not saying Angelo Gabriel is not good with his dribbling. He's definitely good with his dribbling, but Angelo Gabriel looks for those 1-2 touch, give and goes. He looks to link up. I'm very, very upset how we didn't get to see Angelo Gabriel, but nonetheless, it is preseason. Hopefully, we get to see him in the next game. But Raheem Sterling stunk up the place. Every time he received the ball, he had nothing. Nothing, nada, zilch. It's like he got the ball and his brain disappeared. I'm amazed. I actually rate this guy, but if he continues dropping stinkers like this, it's going to be difficult to keep him around. I don't want any issues in the upcoming season. I don't want anyone that is a distinct weakness for us. I can't start a game against high-quality teams in the Premier League having a weakness from the beginning. And Raheem Sterling is becoming a weakness because he's providing nothing from that left side. Missed time passes, poor decision-making, getting dispossessed, absolutely no idea in the final third. He gets the ball, he runs, and then he stops. He stops because his brain's not computing. Biggest negative point, and it's a bit of an issue. He has to perform in the upcoming matches, and then he has to keep that consistency, because if he has one good game and then he reverts back to his old ways, it's not going to work out. So the verdict is getting out on Raheem Sterling. Of course, it's preseason. Let's watch Fulham. Let's watch Dortmund. You continue this way, you're not going to start against Liverpool. Simple as that. Negative number 2, Kepa. Look, ladies and gentlemen, the goal we conceded, of course, it's Cucurella's fault. Of course. But how often have we said, oh, but Kepa can't save that. Kepa can't save. I'm pretty sure even now in this video, a lot of people will comment, but Miz, you're being rude. Kepa definitely couldn't save that. That's not his fault. How often are we going to keep saying that? It seems like every time we concede, Kepa can't save that. No keeper can save that. Brother, when are we actually going to see this keeper pull out a save that is not meant to be, that is unexpected? That's what quality goalkeepers do. No point in saving the ones that you normally save. Cummings and Bergstrom can do that. You need to start saving the ones that people don't expect, because that's what makes you a world-class goalkeeper. That Almiron shot, at least Kepa could have closed the angle down to make it harder for him. And even the shot looked like, had Kepa just anticipated it a little bit quicker, perhaps he could have got something. But as I said, first big issue is Cucurella. For him to consistently, and that wasn't even the first time Cucurella came off his line to try and win an interception. He tried doing that earlier on in that game, and he's been doing that ever since he's come to Chelsea, right? We've seen that in Brighton. But in Brighton, look, maybe he gets away with it, but at Chelsea, these things get punished. So, look, negative number 2, Kepa. I don't know whether we're going to get a goalkeeper. Pochettino post-match coming out and saying he's very happy with Kepa. Very, very happy with Kepa. Thinks he's a fantastic goalkeeper. So I don't think we're going to get a goalkeeper. Maybe we should get, maybe we might get a secondary keeper just as a backup. There is no top quality goalkeeper that we're linked with. The ones that we wanted, one has gone to Man United. The other one looks like he's going to be staying at AC Milan. So we're not really linked with any other top goalkeepers. So, and I don't want just any sort of goalkeeper. I need proper. And Kepa's distribution as well, man. So many people think his distribution is what sets him apart. His distribution is so overrated. So many times Kepa, he just looks very comfortable on the ball. So it makes you think he's good on the ball. But every time he releases the ball, long or short, sometimes it doesn't reach the destination, and sometimes it ends up being intercepted, which then creates a counter-attack. So Kepa definitely a negative for me. Negative number 3, I'll have to say Cucurella. As well as Cucurella played in that game in that first half, there were moments where Cucurella was fantastic. Some of his tackling, some of his passing, some of his runs. But brother Cucurella, you have that mistake in you. Every game you have that mistake in you. Sometimes a couple of mistakes. And that leads to a goal, and it ends up being a goal. You need to eradicate that out, because this season is going to be, we're trying to have a flawless season. We're trying to have a good season. And a flawless season will only take us up to probably top 5 max. We're not even challenging for the title. We're not ready for it. And that's fine, because we finished 12th last season. But even for us to challenge up to top 5, Cucurella, you cannot have some of these mistakes, brother. Some of these mistakes are against Premier League teams. As Pochettino said the other day, top 5, top 6 teams, top 7 teams with Newcastle. Pochettino said it's top 20. Every team in the Premier League has the ability to hurt you, and they will hurt you. And this will not be tolerated too much longer. You will get this season. If you continue with these sort of mistakes, bozo moments, you will be shifted away very quick. You'll be shifted away from Chelsea. Similar thing with Chilwell. Chilwell seems to take a bit of time till he warms up. I'm just worried by the time he warms up, he's probably going to get himself injured again. So far, I'm not really impressed with Chilwell either in this preseason. But let's see where it goes. Negative number 4. So we've talked about Sterling. We've talked about Kepa. We've talked about Cucurella. Number 4 for me is Gallagher. Look, Gallagher probably was a good player for us in the second half. Played a lot deeper. Played as a register. It was interesting. We were talking about it in the live chat on the watch along that. Gallagher is looking like Galadona and Galadinho and Galahamovic, and then soon he went back to being Galadog again. It was a split half. There was that lovely through ball to Nkunku. That Nkunku tried his best to score. It was a good save from Nick Pope. Nick Pope made a couple of big saves in that game in the second half. One against Chilwell was all right at the end. But yeah, Gallagher, look, overall, he just don't have the quality. He tried to play deeper, tried to play like a register, but he doesn't have that overall quality. There is always going to be that odd touch that he got a yellow card from. It's always going to be that odd moment where he's also going to look ordinary. So for me, Gallagher, I can't believe we declined a 40 million bid from West Ham. Hopefully West Ham can get excited and come back again. Because if we can sell him and then put all that money and get Caicedo for 100 million, let's do that. So yeah, for me, that is the 4th negative. I'm just trying to think in the back line. Reece James, first game back. Look, don't want to be overly critical. He was the captain, but he got smoked. I don't want to be overly critical. I think Anthony Gordon was taking him to the cleaners at times. But it's his first game, so he'll find his feet. Malagusta looked very sharp once again when he came on. In midfield, we talked about all of them. Chukwuemeka, when he came on, looked all right as well. Overall, yeah, this is pretty much it. I was really looking forward to Angelo Gabriel to feature. He didn't feature, which makes me think he's potentially going to be loaned out. If it wasn't going to be loaned out, he probably would have featured. But there is a lot of players in the squad. It's very difficult to have everyone feature. But my key takeaway, ladies and gentlemen, is how important Nicolas Jackson is. He's very important. He's become one of the most important players for us. And he's like a glue. When he's around, we play better. Our energy is good. Our intensity is good. Our pressing is good. In attack, we look lethal. As soon as he comes off, it all kind of collapses. Unless you start putting more technical players in and around Nkunku to play up front. But I don't think that's wise. Even Nkunku looked a lot better when Jackson was up front. He could play off him and utilize his pace. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what your thoughts were in that particular match. 1-1 it ends up being. And we move on to the next preseason game against Fulham. We have to start getting serious. I want to see a solid lineup, like the lineup that you think you're going to have for Liverpool. I want to start seeing that and get maybe 65, 70 minutes and then bring on some substitutions. But yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. Till next time. See ya.